All right, y'all, let's talk about toxic positivity. Because when I first saw this term being thrown around social media and stuff, I was like, what? Really, dude? Don't be negative, be positive, but not too positive because that's toxic. Nope. Not doing this. Like, it's only been a few years where I started getting the hang of this optimistic thinking. Y'all are not switching it up on me now. But then I looked it up to see what it meant. And it's basically suppressing negative emotions like sadness and anger to force a positive outlook or response that isn't authentic or genuinely how we feel. And at the same time, if someone else is reaching out, talking about something they're going through, feeling down or out or frustrated, angry, and we do the same to them, well, it could be dismissive, not validating their feelings, and hurtful. It can make people feel like they're alone in the world with no one to talk to, or even create their own insecurities that maybe it's not okay or socially acceptable to talk about the times that we have negative emotions like anger, sadness, or just down and out. And then they too will just start to suppress them and bottle them up, which is no bueno. So when I heard about this, I was thinking, and I came to the conclusion, like, dude, I do this. I've done this. And not that long ago, and to be completely honest, I probably still have a couple days here and there where I make this mistake. And I can definitely say, for a big chunk of my adulthood in my life, I was a negative thinker, a negative self-talk, that inner critic. Or I would just, when I lay down at night trying to go to sleep, reminiscing for the past day or just past events, like everything I was saying or doing, and be like, oh, Amanda, why did you say that? That was so dumb, and cringe. So a few years ago, I kind of made a choice and the initiative to start practicing better, more a self-affirmative talk. Just giving myself a little grace, and saying, you got this, girl. You can do it. Just be yourself, and whoever loves and accepts you and vibes well with you, well, those will be the ones that stick around and appreciate you. And those who don't, well, that's okay. They're probably not the ones you want around you necessarily anyway. It's not always healthy or helpful. So, and, when other people think bad about us or talk behind our back, I always like to say, what others think about me and say behind my back is really none of my business. Because it's none of our business. There's no reason for us to internalize it because it's normally about them. Someone speaking negative or talking behind your back, that is normally about them. Just like a thief will accuse someone of stealing. You just project these things. So people who generally are okay with themselves or come from a good place won't really go behind your back and just talk about you. That's normally people projecting things within themselves they're dealing with, or not dealing with is probably a better way to put it. Because when we are triggered by other people, that is also normally something within ourselves that we are not addressing. So don't internalize that kind of stuff because it really has nothing to do with you. So it's none of our business. That's kind of how I like to look at it. So then I started getting into manifesting concepts, merging to my desired timeline, my thoughts and words create my reality. So I wanted to be positive thinking, so I can achieve the goals and desired life that I want. So every time a negative emotion or something would come about, I would suppress it because I was nervous or no, it's going to mess up everything I've been doing. I can't have this. I can't feel this way. So push it aside, push it out. Don't even worry about it because I don't want it to mess up my manifesting mojo juice. What I got going on, it's going to throw everything off. So, and then what happened is it just started to fester, build up, boil, and then explode, where I would spaz out on someone who didn't really deserve it and definitely did not deserve the full blunt force of what I was packing, So now I'm trying to not do that. I still keep the positive outlook and stay within an optimistic mindset. But what I do is when I have a negative emotion come about, like I'm upset or sad or angry, I'll label it. I'm like, okay, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm upset, I'm jealous, I'm angry, I'm irritated, whatever it is, I will label it, and then I will just kind of work through it until it passes. So that can do a lot because that's not suppressing it. That's taking, recognizing it and acknowledging it and then kind of working through it. Other things that I found helpful too is toxic positivity isn't the same as optimistic, in my opinion, because an optimistic point of view or optimistic way of mindset, personality, could be just saying, okay, well, right now everything kind of sucks, but it won't suck forever. I will be able to get through this and it'll get better. Or these times are really hard and difficult and I'm going through something really rough. And I've fallen on my ass. But I can endure it, I can overcome it, and I can learn from it, and then I can come back swinging stronger and wiser. Because it's not the falls in our life that define us, it's the comeback game. So staying tenacious and having an outlook like right now everything's not really going super peachy keen. Everything's kind of sucky. This project failed. I didn't do this right. But that's okay because now I learned what not to do. So that's kind of a really valuable tool because now I can keep going and never giving up. And just the more I learn what not to do, the more I can kind of learn how to navigate and do what's right and what works best to accomplish the things I want to do, whether it's business or anything in your life, So also, if you come across someone maybe who is going through it, we can always say, I'm sorry that you're going through this, or I'm sorry that you're feeling down like this. We can even say like, I'm really sorry, but I don't know what to say. But maybe even say if you want to talk about it and lend an ear, because just having someone vent and talk it out with someone who is listening could really go a long way. And if you're like on social media maybe and you see someone posting about it, maybe don't be always so quick to say go within, do the shadow work healing, or you're creating these negative experiences because your negative thinking is attracting it. Because that's not always the case and it's not super helpful or nice all the time too. So maybe like just take a little time to like really read into what they're saying and maybe before we're just quick to say those things, or we don't even have to comment. You can just keep scrolling on. Sometimes silence is best too, because I'm pretty sure there's already going to be some people in the comments who are saying it. They're going to beat you to it, or there's going to be a couple after you. I've seen a lot of the repetitive of those things and with not very much explanation, empathy, or compassion behind it. So it's a lot like we're just always kind of talking to ourselves about ourselves on things that we're also learning and going through. But just have a little compassion, even if that means not saying anything at all. And it doesn't mean that we have to dwell on our negative emotions or anything like that. But we can label them. We can recognize them, because suppressing them or pushing them away does not mean they're going to go anywhere, because they're probably not. They're not going to just disappear. They're going to go somewhere. And it might be better to just address it, label it, kind of like clouds floating by. That's an angry cloud. Okay, I'm angry. I see it, I feel it. Now let it go. Let it float by. Here comes the next cloud, So just label it, address it, and, work through it. And then let it go. So I think that's optimistic thinking. When you could say, right now it's not so great, but that's okay. I'm going to just get through it. And I know that I'm going to be able to do better. It's going to, the sun's going to come out tomorrow. Right? I think anyway. Bye.